listeners, and welcome to episode 104 of the Nigerian Football Weekly podcast. I'm your host, Olu. And boy, do I have another action-packed episode for everybody's listening pleasure. Of course, starting with the Premier League, where Ola Aina continues to run riot. And then we'll touch on the Serie A, where Ademola Lookman is equally running riot. I'll also be touching on any news involving the Nigerian players. And of course, our star boy of the week and the ones to watch from tomorrow, which as the Champions League returns tomorrow on Tuesday. So without any further ado, let's get into it. So starting with the Premier League, and I have to start with the high flyers. If you look at the top 5 right now in the Prem, or the top 6 right now, you can say a lot of the teams there are in familiar positions, except one team, Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest are currently 3rd in the Premier League. Yes, you heard me correctly. They are 3rd. Out of 10 games, they have won half of their games. They've won 5. They've drawn 4. And they've lost just 1 game. If you remember, they also beat Liverpool at Anfield. So, my God, Nottingham Forest continue to fly high. Last week, we shouted out Ola Aina, and we made sure that we showed you guys how well he's been performing. But guys, guess what? Ola Aina has gone and even done better this past week. Like, he played 89 minutes for Nottingham Forest. They absolutely thrashed West Ham 3-0. West Ham, Lopetegui's getting out there anyway. But as if he could not do any better, Ola Aina kept the clean sheet, played well, continues to be at the forefront when you look at the fullbacks performing in England. But then he also scored his first goal of the season. And my God, what a strike, with his left foot as well. One of the things I love about Ola Aina, we know he can use both his left foot and his right foot. And the way this ball just sat up for him, he just banged it straight into the top corner, like top bins. And he gave a very hilarious interview, which I'm sure you've all seen, where he was saying, oh my God, I was knackered and I just thought, let me hit it. And I just love the banter and the energy around Nottingham Forest. No, Espirito Santo has them really cooking and playing very, very good football right now. And you can see the vibes in the dressing room are lit. I know Hudson-Odoi and Elanga, basically the Africans, even though the other two refused to play for the African country. I don't know how you choose Sweden over Cameroon. Cameroon have a better chance of winning AFCON or even going further in the World Cup than Sweden. As for Hudson-Odoi, the Ghanaian president invited him to the presidential house and he's still not playing for Ghana. If there's one thing I like about Nigeria, I think we have a bit more shame than that. You cannot be invited to the presidential house while you're still playing for a foreign country. But anyway, that's beside the point. The vibes were lit. Ola Aina gave such an amazing interview, and his reputation continues to grow and build as he continues to put in excellent performances. In fact, there's even a world where I'll argue, if the Prem ended today after 10 games, Ola Aina will be in the team of the season based on how he's performed for Nottingham Forest. That's how good he's been. But obviously, he wants to share the love. So Awoni also came on for the final 11 minutes after Chris Wood bagged yet another goal. So Awoni is just going to have to be patient for now because Chris Wood, man, he's like the wicked skank man right now. What to Stormzy. Everybody else, he has more goals than everybody except Erling Haaland in the Prem so far. And Chris Wood keeps bagging. He scored in every single game he's played this season, except 1 or 2. That's how amazing he's been. So Nottingham Forest, keep up the great form. Honestly, it's been excellent to see. And me, I want Nigerians playing for the top teams in the Prem. So Nottingham Forest are the team at the moment that are bucking the trend. They're 3rd. And long may their great form continue. Next up for them, they play Newcastle at home on Sunday. And I'm hoping they could do a bit of a revenge job for Arsenal, considering we lost to Newcastle on Saturday, which I'll get into anyway. As for Fulham, they're 12th at the moment. They're currently playing Brentford tonight as I'm recording this episode. 13 minutes have been played so far. Both of our players are starting, which is always a positive. And to be honest, I think it's going to be a very, very tasty game because Fulham are at home where they definitely play. They tend to play well, but Brentford are in good form as well, especially with Mbuemo in the team at the moment and Yohan Wissa. So let's see how the game goes, and I'll give you an update on how the game ends next week. Next up for them, after today, they play Crystal Palace away on Saturday, so they don't have to travel far. That's another London derby, and I'm sure they'll be hoping that they could get the 3 points in that game. As for Leicester, Wilfred Ndidi was rested in Leicester's 5-2 loss to Manchester United in the League Cup last week, Wednesday. So Leicester are out at the round of 16 level. However, on Saturday, he played 71 minutes in their 1-1 draw against Ipswich. Ipswich scored an amazing goal through Leif Davis. Shout out to Leif Davis. I got you, my FPL. Fantastic left foot strike, literally on the volley. Swiped it straight into the bottom corner. And then Jordan Ayew, man. I'm sure Ghanaians must be so frustrated because where's this Jordan Ayew for Ghana? He scored his 2nd last-minute goal of the season already. And what a finish as well. What a move. Like, got into the box And it's like the Ipswich defenders just froze. He didn't want to with Jamie Vardy. Vardy just slipped it back into him and he just rolled it into the net. Fantastic goal for Leicester. So Leicester lived to fight another day. At least they did not lose. Next up for them, they play Manchester United away on Sunday. So that'll be a very tasty game. If I'm not mistaken, that would still be under Ruud van Nistelrooy, because Ruben Amorim does not start his job for Manchester United until next week Monday. So they're basically giving him the international break to start his job. So he has 2 weeks to look at the team, decide on what he's going to do for the next set of games. But that'll be a very, very tasty game to watch. As for Aribo and Southampton, Aribo played the final 45 minutes of the game, while Onuachu literally came on in the last minute of this game as Southampton finally got their first win of the season. They beat Everton 1-0 on Saturday. I have to say they were a bit lucky here because Everton scored a last-minute equalizer, Beto, but they were saved by VAR. So Southampton, I mean, when you're bottom of the league, you need a bit of luck to go your favour. So at the very least, I'm glad that Southampton now have a win and they're no longer bottom of the table. They're now 19th. So Ipswich and Wolves remain winless, but Southampton finally have a win on the board. And I'm happy that Aribo continues to play significant minutes. So long may it continue for the boys from down south. Other results to be aware of in the Prem. Arsenal lost to Newcastle 1-0 on the Saturday lunchtime kickoff. I'm not going to lie, that's the worst performance I've seen from Arsenal in a long time. At least the worst performance I've seen this year. You know, since our little blip in the last 3 games of December last year against West Ham and Fulham, we look like this year, at least, in most of the games that we've lost or drawn, there's always an excuse or a reason. But this one, we just got outplayed, outfought, outthought. We were horrible. And then obviously today, they announced that Edu's leaving Arsenal. A lot of fans might think this is sad, but as an Arsenal fan, I'm not sad. I think if we look at Edu's record in the past 2 or 3 seasons, you can see the commands there. So anyway, hopefully they hire someone that could replace Edu, who's even better and who can challenge Arteta's authority. But we need to bounce back quick because we're playing Chelsea away next. So that's definitely not going to be a tough game. I mean, an easy game. Very, very tough game, by the way. Liverpool beat Brighton 2-1. Mohamed Salah, they came from behind. Brighton scored a great goal with Igoh Ogbu. But then Gakpo scored and then Mohamed Salah does Mohamed Salah things. So that was a great win for Liverpool, who are now 2 points ahead of Man City in the league table and 7 points ahead of Arsenal. Bournemouth beat Manchester City 2-1. Antoine Semenyo, Ghana. You have Semenyo and Kudus and you're not going to AFCON. Semenyo is a bowler. How is Otorado not fixing his team around these 2 guys, man? Wow, I just want to say Semenyo, what a player, man. They totally deserve to beat Man City. Very, very well deserved. Win. Other games to be aware of. Wolves and Crystal Palace played in the 5:30 kickoff on Saturday. 2-2, very entertaining game. Matheus Cunha. I don't know what you people think, but every time I watch Matheus Cunha, he just restores the feeling, man. I can't believe he plays for the team that's bottom of the league. Cunha is a baller. He could play for a top 6 team, I'm telling you. Sometimes finishing can be a bit rash, but this guy can assist. He can carry the ball. He's literally a threat every time. Like, he does things that you can tell this guy is a jogador. He's Brazilian. You know, you feel it when you watch him. So I'm telling you guys, keep watching Cunha. If Wolves decide they're not going to fix up, then I'm sure one of the big teams is going to snap up Cunha because that's a player right there. As for Sunday, Tottenham smacked Aston Villa 4-1. All of you that were gaslighting Arsenal fans that we don't know about Unai Emery's behaviour. Let me tell you, this is how it starts. Unai Emery, he will wash you, you think everything's going well. Then one day, you just start seeing the cookie crumbling. These guys were 1-0 up. Rodgers scored. They were looking like they were cruising. And they conceded 4 goals, literally 3 in transition. And then Madsen scored a final goal in the 90th minute with the free kick, just to add the cherry on the top. So, Aston Villa, take time. I know your next game is against Liverpool. So, it could be the start of a very bad trend of results, but let's see how it goes. And then in the big one yesterday, Manchester United and Chelsea drew 1-1. I thought 1-1 was probably the right result there. Man United got a bit lucky with the penalty, to be honest. Chelsea, great goal by Moses Caicedo. I mean, there's a reason Arsenal wanted Caicedo. That guy is a footballer. But when you watch both of these teams play, like, no offense to Chelsea, I know you're currently ahead of Arsenal, but we're not yet worried about you, so to speak. But we'll see how Stamford Bridge goes next week. So fixtures to be aware about next week. There's no 12:30 p.m. kickoff on Saturday next week. So we have 4 3 p.m. kickoff games. Remember, it's 4 p.m. in Nigeria. Wolves will host Southampton at home. West Ham will host Everton at home. Brentford will host Bournemouth and Crystal Palace will host Fulham. In the 5:30 p.m. kickoff, we'll see Brighton host Manchester City at the Amex Stadium. That's going to be a tough game for Man City. especially with how good Brighton play at home. And then we've got a Saturday night 8 p.m. kickoff game where Liverpool will be hosting Aston Villa at Anfield. I think this is going to be a very, very tasty game. Liverpool have won their last four of their past 5 wins in the Prem has been by a solitary goal. So they have to be very careful here. And Aston Villa, I'm sure they'll be licking their wounds. Although, let's see how Champions League affects both teams during this week. And then on Sunday in the early kickoff, we've got 3 games for your viewing pleasure. Manchester United host Leicester at Old Trafford. Nottingham Forest host Newcastle at the Nottingham Forest ground. And Tottenham host Ipswich at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Would you believe in England? Look at the 3 games I've just mentioned. The game that's on TV is Nottingham Forest versus Newcastle. So yes, I know we live in London and we should not complain too much. But when I tell you that these Premier League fixtures and the way they select what ones to watch pisses me off. Everybody and their granddad outside England is going to be watching Manchester United, Leicester, or Tottenham versus Ipswich Town. But we have to watch Nottingham Forest versus Newcastle at 2 p.m. on Sunday. Someone explain that one to me. But anyway, the big game on Sunday, 4:30 p.m. kickoff, 5:30 p.m. kickoff Nigeria time. Chelsea versus Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. Prior to last season, Arsenal, we'd beaten them 3 straight seasons in a row at Stamford Bridge. Last year, we were lucky to get the 2-2 draw. I'll put my hands up where Modric even scored some fluky goal. But it's going to be a tasty game. Chelsea are currently ahead of Arsenal on goal difference in 4th place. But I think Arsenal, if we want to ignite our title challenge or remain in the title race, we have to beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. So look out for that game. As I said, Liverpool are top with 25 points. Man City are second with 23 points. Nottingham Forest are third on 19th. And then Chelsea, Arsenal and Villa make up 4th, 5th and 6th with 18 points respectively. But Chelsea's goal difference is +8. Arsenal is +6. And Aston Villa is +2. We then have Tottenham and Brighton rounding up the top 8. Tottenham and Brighton both have 16 points. But Brighton have a +3 goal difference while Tottenham have a +11 goal difference. Tottenham are actually the highest scorers in the Prem so far this season, which is interesting and was boosted massively by the 4 goals they scored yesterday. In the relegation zone, or before the relegation, Manchester United remain 13th. They've got a lot of work to do, but luckily for them, we're only just about over 25% of the season played, so there's enough time to rectify your performance and your behaviours. But in the bottom, we've got Ipswich Town in 18th, Southampton in 19th, and Wolverhampton in 20th place. Moving on to the championship, Ajayi is injured. It looks like he's going to be out for 4 months, so he's not going to be available for AFCON qualifiers. Please, NFF, call up Kevin Akpoguma. I don't know what this boy has to do, man. He's playing well in the Bundesliga. Don't go and call up some random defender from the MPFL. I'm begging you. You know what to do. Call up somebody that's actually deserving of a place in the national team for the final round of AFCON qualifiers. As for Josh Maja, he played 75 minutes on Friday and scored an absolutely sexy backheel goal. I encourage anyone to go watch it. He's got 8 goals in the league. He's the second top scorer in the championship, only behind Borja Sainz of Norwich. But go check the goal out. I'm telling you, backheel, straight from across, just knocked it into the bottom corner. He didn't even realize, to be honest. So let's see how that game goes. In the championship, other games to be aware about. Dele-Bashiru is injured, so no need to talk about that. As for the Luton boys, Elijah Adebayo and Victor Moses both played significant minutes in that 1-1 draw. But that's really it for them. The West Brom boys, who are currently 6th, their next game is against Burnley at home on Thursday, and they play Hull City away on Sunday night. In Serie A, and the African Footballer of the Year, Ademola Lookman continues to shine. First of all, on Wednesday, he played 45 minutes in Atalanta's 2-0 over Monza. And then yesterday, just imagine the setting. Napoli are top of the league. They're flying on the Conte. Since their first game, which they lost, they've won pretty much every game except one. Atalanta come in with an opportunity to go up to second place if they win the game, and they're away. They're playing literally at the Diego Maradona Stadium, where Osimhen won the Scudetto for Napoli. And Ademola Lookman played 76 minutes and ran these people riot. When I say riots, Ademola Lookman, he scored 2 goals in the first half. The first one, it got headed down. Mind you, Ademola Lookman is right-footed, but he can use his left foot very well. The ball just dropped over him, and he just banged it with his left foot straight into the bottom left corner. 1-0. Second goal, very, very identical to the goal he scored in the Europa League final against Bayer Leverkusen. This is why when I watch Arsenal and Martinelli and these my bummy left wingers, I get so annoyed. Bro, I would take Lookman. Lookman, please come to Arsenal. I beg you, bro. Junior Edjo. He took the ball, literally on the counter-attack. Decatelaire got the ball. Kicked the ball straight to Lookman. It's literally Lookman versus 3 defenders, but they have just 1 defender marking him. Without even taking too much time, he shifts the ball to his right foot and bangs the ball straight into the bottom corner again. You could argue that Alex Murray touched the ball, so he could have pushed it away, but I'm not having any of that. Fantastic finish by Ademola Lookman. What this means now is Atalanta are in second place in the league, and he now has the most goal contributions in Serie A for the calendar year of 2024. He's got 16 goals and 11 assists this year in Serie A, which is the highest of any player. So Ademola Lookman, my African footballer of the year, keep shining. Honestly, you make me so proud and so happy. And thanks for the slight revenge work for Osimhen. That's much, much needed and appreciated. So well done. Next up for Lookman, who'll be in action in the Champions League against Stuttgart away on Wednesday. So I expect him to... Atalanta needs some wins. They've drawn a few games they should have won. So I'm sure Lookman will be looked at. Although Stuttgart are playing well in Champions League too. Remember, they beat Juventus in the last game and they're very unlucky not to beat Real Madrid. So that should be a very tasty game on Wednesday. And then on Sunday, we'll see Ademola Lookman come face-to-face against Maduka Okoye's Udinese. So best believe I'll be watching that game to watch our Super Eagles internationals. I think this is also timely because after these next round of games, this week and over the weekend, we'll have the international break. So Lookman and Maduka may have a lot to talk about, so to speak. So look out for that one. As for Maduka, he continues to start games in Serie A, continues to play very well. Although Udinese have lost their last 2 games, he did make 4 saves in their 3-2 loss to Verona on Wednesday. And then he played 90 minutes and made 4 saves in their 2-0 loss to Juventus on Saturday. He did concede an own goal, but it's very unlucky. It's one of those shots where the ball hits the bar and then it bounces off the goalkeeper's head and goes into the net. So that must have been very annoying for Maduka. But we see Maduka keep shining. And let's see how you perform against Atalanta away on Sunday. As for Samuel Chukwueze, the positive I can mention here, Samuel Chukwueze is starting games, but it's not necessarily going well for them. Last week, Tuesday, AC Milan lost 2-0 to Napoli at the San Siro. They got battered. Napoli destroyed them. And then on Saturday, Chukwueze started again, played 81 minutes in their 1-0 win over Monza. So we'll take the win. You know, their coach is already under pressure. They're 7th in the league. It's not looking too great. And in the Champions League, they've really struggled. The worst part is tomorrow night, they have to play Real Madrid away at the Bernabeu. Remember, Real Madrid did not have any game this weekend because of the floods in Valencia. RIP to everybody that lost their life in Valencia. And obviously, they're still fuming about the Ballon d'Or. So this will be a very, very tasty game to see between Real Madrid and AC Milan. So watch out for that one on Tuesday. And then after that, Chukwueze will be in action against Cagliari away on Saturday. As for Dele-Bashiru, still being benched a lot, to be honest. I don't know what he has to do to play. He was benched on Thursday as Lazio won 5-1, so you can't really be mad at him being benched. But I also know today he's probably been benched. They're currently drawing 1-1 against Cagliari. Buladia scored yet again, and Lazio are the better team. But of course, they put Visaya on the bench, and I'll be surprised if he gets any minutes. I'm not sure what my guy has to do for Baroni to give him some minutes. Baroni keeps giving him these token minutes in the Europa League, which he keeps doing well, but let's see. So worst case scenario, we'll see Visaya play on Thursday in the Europa League as Lazio host FC Porto at home, and then they go away to Monza away on Sunday. In the Bundesliga, Boniface started and Nathan Tella came off the bench as Leverkusen drew 0-0 against Stuttgart on Friday. Stuttgart's goalkeeper was really, really impressive, but you have to say Leverkusen are showing signs of a second season dip. They're drawing a few too many games. But in more exciting news, tomorrow we'll see Xabi Alonso return to Anfield as Liverpool hosts Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League tomorrow. So let's see if Boniface could, you know, make some more headlines for himself as he tends to love, which I love to see. And then in the league, they'll play Bochum away on Saturday. As for Kevin Akpoguma, he played 90 minutes in Hoffenheim's 2-1 win over Nürnberg in the DFB Pokal over the weekend. And then he was benched in Hoffenheim's 2-0 loss to St. Pauli on Saturday. So that's a bad loss. But anyway, on Thursday, they play Lyon in the Europa League at home. So I'm sure we'll see Akpoguma back in the starting lineup. And then they play Aalborg away on Sunday before the international break. And like I said, I want to see Akpoguma called up this time, please. Finally, in the Bundesliga, Onyeka played 90 minutes as Aalborg drew 1-1 against Wolfsburg on Saturday. And their next game is going to be against Hoffenheim. So we're going to see Akpoguma versus Onyeka on Sunday. In La Liga, Kelechi Iheanacho finally played 90 minutes and scored 2 goals in the Copa del Rey as Sevilla beat Las Rosas 3-0 on Wednesday. Really, really important for him, for his confidence and to finally get off the mark for his new club. He then came off the bench and played 10 minutes on Sunday as Sevilla lost 2-0 to Omar Sadiq's Real Sociedad. Next up, Kelechi Iheanacho, they play Leganes away on Saturday. So let's see if he can get a few more minutes and can show his, his value. As for Omar Sadiq, he was benched totally in the 2-0 win for Real Sociedad against Sevilla. Let's see if he gets some minutes when they play Victoria Pilsen away on Thursday in the Europa League. And then Real Sociedad hosts Barcelona on Sunday, who are red hot in La Liga. So unfortunately for Omar Sadiq, he's likely going to lose that game for sure. As for Quintas Uche, his Getafe team are currently in action tonight. Let me just triple check the score right now. They are losing 1-0. But Quintas Uche is starting the game, so let's see if he can make a change. Only 30 minutes of that game have been played so far. So let's see what happens for the rest of today. And then next up for Getafe, they'll be in action in the Copa del Rey on Thursday against Manizes away. And then they host Girona at home on Sunday. So Getafe will be hoping to get some points against Girona because obviously Girona are juggling the Champions League and La Liga, and so far they haven't done a very good job of it. Finally, in the top 5 leagues in Ligue 1, we saw Georgia Linikenas play 45 minutes for Monaco as they lost 1-0 to Angers at home on Friday. Terrible loss. I don't even have any words. But anyway, they play Bologna away tomorrow in the Champions League, so opportunity to bounce back. They've been doing well in the UCL, so let's see if they can keep up the good form in the UEFA's premier competition. In the league, they play Strasbourg away on Saturday, so hopefully we can see him get some more minutes and get back into the goals. As for Nantes, they lost 2-1 last night to Marseille. Tough loss, but Marseille are a really good team. Simon played all the minutes, which is not surprising. And next up for him, he plays Lens away on Saturday before break up for international football. As for Akko Adams, Montpellier continued to struggle. They're in the relegation zone, the 18th. Akko Adams started the game, played 60 minutes as Montpellier lost 1-0 to Le Havre on Sunday. When you're losing to Le Havre, that's when it's not looking good for you. And next up for them, they play Brest at home on Sunday. Brest are currently in the Champions League, so that's not going to be an easy game. But of course, we wish Akko Adams well. As for Gift Urban, he was not in the Lyon squad for the second game in a row as Lyon drew 1-1 against Lille. The good thing for Lyon is they're currently 6th in the league, so they haven't started as badly as they've started the last 2 years. But I really want to see Gift Urban get some minutes against Hoffenheim away on Thursday in the Europa League, or when they play Saint Etienne at home on Sunday. If I'm Gift Urban, me and my agent were looking for a January exit. I was once the toast of Europe, and now I can't even get minutes for Lyon. So let's see what happens with that one. Gabriel Osho is injured for Auxerre, expected back in late November. That's a shame because he may have been caught up for the Super Eagles. As for Victor Racco, he was not in the squad for Nice, who are 5th in the league, in their 1-0 win over Brest on Saturday. Let's see if he gets some minutes in their home game in the Europa League against Twente at home on Thursday, and then they play Lille at home on Sunday. And then finally, central midfielder to track, Hamzat Ojediran. Lens are currently 7th in the league. They've got a very good manager in Will Still, and he played 70 minutes as Lens lost 1-0 to PSG on Saturday. Very unlucky loss. Dembele scored the winner. Dembele and Barcola, they're moving brazy this year, man. Especially Barcola. But I'm very glad to see Hamza Ojediran plays because I'll say central mid is one of our weaker positions at the moment. So please monitor this boy. I'm telling you, he looks like he could be one for the future. Next up for Lens, they play Moses-Simon's Nantes at home on Saturday. So that'll be another tasty tie involving 2 Nigerian players. And that's it in terms of the top 5 leagues in Europe for this week. So moving on to the non-top 5 leagues and all the other information I have for you from Nigerian news and Starboy of the Week. Starting with Portugal, Bruno Yemachi played 90 minutes in Boavista's 2-1 win over Gil Vicente on Saturday. So next match for them, they play Rio Vicente at home on Saturday. Also, good news, Zedu Sanusi was in action for FC Porto's B team over the weekend. So it looks like his road to recovery is finally getting closer and closer. And hopefully we'll see Sanusi back in the Porto main team very, very soon. So look out for that. In Turkey, Victor Osimhen was not in action over the weekend. Galatasaray did not play over the weekend. Although I'm sure you also heard Mourinho's rants about Fenerbahce and how things are not going their way. Positive note, we will watch Osimhen in action this Thursday in the Europa League. They play Tottenham at home. So I think when you're someone like Osimhen, when you get a chance to play against English teams, put them to the sword. I need Osimhen in the Premier League next season. So wax Tottenham, man. Show them no mercy. Although I think that'll be a very, very tough game because Tottenham have won all their 3 games so far in the Europa League. But that should be a very, very tasty encounter between Tottenham and Galatasaray. And then Galatasaray will play Samsunspor at home on Sunday. Samsunspor are currently 3rd. But Fenerbahce have a healthy lead in the league. So, like I've said, I want Osimhen to run up the numbers. Just be bagging, man. Bag. You're the one and normally in that Fenerbahce team. Usually it's Batshuayi, Icardi, players who are over the hill. They go to Turkey for a last payday while still scoring. So, Osimhen, you have to be bullying these guys, man. I'm sorry, you have to. So let's see how it goes. As for Osayi-Samuel, he started the game yesterday. He got a yellow card in Fenerbahce 3-2 win over Trabzonspor. Trabzonspor were up 2-1, and then Fenerbahce scored 2 goals in the last 20 minutes of the game. And of course, you saw Mourinho celebrating. He did a knee slide. I mean, the man's just box office. So I'm sure Osayi-Samuel will have a lot of stories to tell the Nigerian players on international break. Also, Fenerbahce will be in action in the Europa League on Thursday. They go away to AZ Alkmaar, so that should be a tough game. And then they play Sivasspor at home on Sunday. Speaking of Anthony Nwakeme, he played 89 minutes, and he was also pretty involved in the penalty incident that Trabzonspor got, but no goal or assist for him in this game. And they're currently 11th, so it's a tough one for them at the moment. But they play Rizespor away on Saturday, so let's see how they can perform in that game. In Belgium, Tolora Gadari played 75 minutes in Genks 2-0 win over SK Beveren in the Belgian Cup on Wednesday. He then played 72 minutes to go on assist in their 2-0 win over Royal Antwerp on Sunday. Remember, he remains the joint top goal scorer, so you never know. He may end up even being called up. But I always say, when I watch these Belgian goals, they always have Koma, because I've seen Dazzles Onuachu literally run it up in the Belgian league before. Girasol is currently injured, but next up for Tolora Kadari and Genk, they play Union Saint-Gilloise away on Sunday. Speaking of Royal Antwerp, Victor Odo came on for the final 4 minutes in that game, so at the moment he's pretty much just a bit part player. As for Club Brugge, Rafael Edika played 61 minutes. Club Brugge beat Belizia Bilzen 6-1 in the Belgian Cup on Wednesday. He then played 90 minutes. They beat OH Leuven 1-0 on Saturday. So they're now back in second place, which is rightfully where they should be. He will not be in action on Wednesday because he got a red card in the last Champions League game for Club Brugge, which means he will miss the game against Aston Villa on Wednesday. But he should be back in action for their league game away against Beerschot away on Sunday. And then Jordan Torunariga played 45 minutes in Ghent 7-0 win in the Belgian Cup on Wednesday. And then he played 90 minutes in their 0-0 draw against Beerschot on Sunday. Torunariga could also be called up, you never know, but we'll see what happens with NFF and Eguavon's list when they drop, probably later this week. In Scotland, Cyril Dessers played his 3 minutes while Leon Balogun continues to start games as well. In Rangers 2-1 loss to Aberdeen on Wednesday. Really bad loss for Rangers. They're currently third in pretty much what you call a 2-team league. So it's not looking good when Aberdeen are ahead of you. However, yesterday they both played in the League Cup. They both started, and Dessers actually scored the first goal for Rangers in the semi-final. They beat Motherwell 2-1, so they will play in the League Cup final in Scotland. They pretty much make it to the final every year anyway. But they'll be in action in Europa League, which is nice to see. They go away to Olympiacos on Thursday before they play Hearts at home on Sunday. In Czech Republic, Igoh Ogbu's back from injury. He played 90 minutes in Slavia Prague's 4-0 win on Thursday in the Czech Cup. But then he was on the bench for their 1-1 draw against Radek Kralov on Sunday. Let's see if he gets any minutes in the Europa League on Thursday when they go away to Eintracht Frankfurt, who it must be said are doing really well, especially Omar Mamouche, the Egyptian striker. And then they play Carvina at home on Sunday. Ugbo is also in contender to get called up. I doubt he would be because he just returned from injury. But between Ugbo, Akpoguma, and even Leon Balogun that's back playing, we have enough centre-backs that could be able to debutize for Semi Ajayi. So let's see what happens when that one comes. As for Victor Olatunji, I'm pretty much just calling this because he's got Champions League game this Wednesday. Sparta Prague play Brest at home in the Champions League, so good to see the boys in the Champions League again. I think that'll be quite exciting to watch. He was rested in their 4-0 win in the Czech Cup on Wednesday, and then he played 35 minutes in Sparta Prague's 3-1 loss to Baník Ostrava, which is not good. So they're currently third in the league. Finally, in the PSL, while we wait for Alessandra to recover, Steino Abadi was also not in action over the weekend. And Chippa United will not be in action until November 26th. So Nabali is just chilling at the moment. And then finally in Slovakia, Elvis Isaacs, Slavan Bratislava, who are top of the league, we play in Dynamo Zagreb in the Champions League tomorrow. So always a good shout out when you have a player in the Champions League. Ones to watch for this week, starting with the Champions League tomorrow. On Tuesday tomorrow, Samuel Chukwueze's AC Milan go to the Bernabeu to play Real Madrid in the glamour tie for tomorrow. Victor Boniface and Nathan Tella's Bayer Leverkusen go to Anfield tomorrow as well in the Champions League. Giorgio Linekena's Monaco are away against Bologna from Italy in the Champions League. And let's see if Elvis Isaac can get some minutes for Slovan Bratislava when they play Dynamo Zagreb tomorrow in the Champions League as well. On Wednesday, more Champions League action. We'll see Ademola Lookman's Atalanta go away to Stuttgart. So hopefully continues excellent form in that game. And then Victor Olatunji's Sparta Prague will be in action again at home against Brest. Remember, their last home game, he scored a goal there in the 3-0 win. So hopefully Sparta Prague can get some points on the board against Brest on Wednesday. On Thursday, we have a bunch of Nigerians playing in the Europa League. So many of them. Fisaya Dele-Bashiru's Lazio at home against FC Porto at home. So I'm sure he'll get some minutes in that game. Victor Osimhen's Galatasaray at home against Tottenham. Kevin Akpogma's Hoffenheim are in action at home against Gift Urban's Lyon. Osayi-Samuel's Fenerbahce go away to AZ Alkmaar. Cyril Dessers and Leon Balogun, their Rangers team go away to Olympiacos. That'll be a very, very tough game. Igoh Ogbu, Slavia Prague are in action away against Frankfurt on Thursday as well. Victor Rapko's Nice are in action at home against FC Twente. We know Murphy is currently still injured for the whole season. And then finally, we've got Jordan Torunariga's Ghent playing at home against Omonia Nicosia in the Conference League at home on Thursday. Over the weekend, we will see Hamza Ojediron's Lons play at home against Moses Simon's Nantes. That should be a cracking game to watch. And then on Sunday, we'll see the Nottingham Forest boys in action at home. Ola Aina and Taiwa Wini in action against Newcastle. Wilfred Ndidi's Leicester go away to Old Trafford in what should be a very, very tasty game. We will also see Maduka Okoye's Udinese go away to Atalanta to play Ademola Lookman's firing hot Atalanta at home. And then Olberg's Frank Onyeka will be in action at home against Kevin Akpogma's Hoffenheim. Christian Uche's Getafe will also be in action at home against Girona. And hopefully we'll see Omar Sadiq get some minutes from Real Sociedad when they host Barcelona on Sunday. Finally, star player Victor Osimhen will be in action at home against Samsun Spurs. So hopefully he can get some minutes and goals in under his belt before he comes for international duties. Star Boy of the Week, bronze medal this week. I'm going to give it to Josh Maja. He's currently the second top scorer in the championship. Scored a clever, amazing backheel goal, as I mentioned. So I'm serious. Just for the imagination, you have to watch this goal. So shout out to him for the bronze medal. This week, I'm not giving a silver medal because I have two players who are joined first. So the gold medal for this week, just in the same way that in the 2020 Olympics, I remember the long jump, I think the guy from Qatar and Italy, in the high jump, both shared the gold medal. So, Ola Aina, you are gold medalist this week. Your Nottingham Forest team are third in the Prem after 10 games, 5 wins, 4 draws and 1 loss. As I said already, Ola Aina will be in the Premier League team of the season if the Premier League ended today. And he continues to ball out and his stock continues to rise. Long may it continue. So shout out to you, Ola Aina. Also, I have to give the gold medal to Ademola Lookman, Adebobo Jr., the pride of Nigeria and the future African footballer of the year. As if he didn't already have an amazing week, getting 2 goals and 2 assists last week. Then he went to the Ballon d'Or as the sole African representative. George Weah was even giving a talk. I thought even shout out the Nigerian, but no problem. Liberia, we know they beg. But then this weekend, yesterday, for you to turn up at 12:30 p.m. kickoff, midday, go to Naples to play in the Maradona Stadium against Antonio Conte's team that are top of the league. And you just blammed them in a 3-0 win. Ademola Lookman scored the first goal and the second goal. First goal with his left foot, second goal with his right foot, and just dominate against the league leaders. My God, Ademola Lookman, you bring me so much joy and you bring Nigerians so much joy. So you, my friend, you and Ola Aina are the star boys of the week. Please keep it up. I will see you in action for the Super Eagles after this weekend. In Nigerian news, international break is coming, so I anticipate the Super Eagles squad list to be released anytime for the rest of the week. So I'll, of course, be doing a preview of our AFCON qualifiers and going through the squad list. Nigeria will be playing Benin away next week, Thursday. 9 p.m. kickoff in the UK, so that's going to be an 8 p.m. kickoff. 7 p.m. kickoff in the UK, so 8 p.m. kickoff in Nigeria. And then we play Rwanda at home in Uyo on Monday, November 18th. We need just 1 point to qualify for AFCON. So hopefully we can beat Benin and then use the final game against Rwanda to give a few caps to new players and players who deserve an opportunity in the national team. Also, I wanted to call out Ahmed Musa, who scored a 90th minute winner for Kano Pillars as they beat Plateau United on Sunday. So keep up the great work and continue to spread the word and do great things in the MPFL. That's it for this episode of the podcast. Thanks again for rocking with me. Lots of games to look forward to over the next week before the international break comes. If you're listening on YouTube, which is our primary source of engagement these days, please like, share, subscribe, and spread the word. If you listen on our social media channels or on any of the DSPs, please remember you can follow us on our social media. We're Nigerian Football Weekly everywhere. Facebook or Instagram or anywhere except Twitter. We are at NFWPOD. Someone took the hashtag, it was too long. So anyway, take care. And until next time, peace out. Enjoy the football for the rest of the week. Ciao, ciao.
Thanks for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and click the bell to get a notification whenever we drop a video. You can also find our social media channels listed below. And of course, up Super Eagles and Nigerian they ever carry last.